Good day, guys. Good day, everyone. I hope you're all good. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope God has been with you. I hope the ancestors have been with you. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. 10 months to be precise. But yeah, we're here now. Let's get some work done. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We're talking about our emotional vocab and how it ties into astrology, and essentially how that astrology ties into us, right? That's the whole purpose of this channel. It's to see how everything ties back into us, right? Damn, I missed you guys. I hope everyone's been good. Yeah, to start this video off properly, we would have to first say nothing exists outside the self. And what this means is when God created God, God created God in God's image, right? Now, bear with me. I know how confusing it may sound, but all that is created is created in the image of its creator. When you create something, an artwork, music, an invention like technology, maybe a phone or whatever the case may be, a rocket, whatever, you inject yourself into it. A part of you becomes extended in the existence of something you've created, right? Now, that means when God creates in God's image. Now, you can't create outside what God's image. You can't create outside the creation which God created as God's image, right? You can't create outside yourself. But now let's look at it on a broader perspective. Let's look at what I'm talking about at a broader perspective. This is ancient knowledge. Now, ancient South African knowledge, to be precise. Read up on Krero Mutwa, Indaba My Children. He speaks about how ancient South African history or ancient South African knowledge tells us that we didn't believe that God created us. Instead, we believed that God, in God's creation, we were created when God created God, right? Right? Now, what this means essentially is that we are a part of God. We're not excluded from God. No, we are a part of God, and God is a part of us, right? That's why we say we have God within us, or we are made in the image of God, which is all true. But we are made in the image of God by the gods within us, which is essentially the gods that are us. Because now, where was I going with this? Perfect. Let's look at it. Let's test out the theory. Let's look at everything that is created and see how we see ourselves in everything created. So let's take the planet Earth for an instance. Now, the planet Earth is made up of 75% water. Our bodies are made up of 75% water. 9 months before you are born, you are in water, right? So you are in the element water. That is predominant in the creation of Earth, right? Because it's 75% water. Hence, you are 75% water as well. Look at the Earth in terms of the ground. It consists of minerals, zinc, iron, copper, manganese, magnesium. All these essential minerals that are found in the ground are actually found in you as well. You also have these minerals, right? You find that the ground creates crystals and rocks and all these minerals that are found in there, and your body does the same thing. Hence why your teeth are of the same minerals as crystals, right? That's crazy. So yourself, you can see yourself in the ground, you can see yourself in the water, you can see yourself in the wind. When you speak, you are using breath, which is wind, to articulate yourself, or to speak, or to create sound, right? That's important. Now we look at the element fire. You require electrical signals. Electrical signals are what are used by the brain to interpret the world around us, right? When we touch something, stimuli is received by the receptors of our skin, and that stimuli is converted into electricity that travels through neurons. I mean, neurons, right? Yeah, I think our neurons. Oh man, it's been a while since I did life science, guys. But anyway, our neurons like transport the information to the brain, and then it is interpreted as whatever it is. So whether it is through light or through sound, it takes electricity for your brain to interpret it, or for you to interpret it. And electricity is just another density of fire. Hence why I don't know how many of you guys watched cartoons growing up, but I used to watch a lot of them. And in The Last Airbender, the Avatar, the Fire Nation people would be able to convert fire into electricity when they were fighting their opponents. So electricity and fire is just, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about how we see ourselves in those things. So we see ourselves in a lot, man. Like everything is created from you or by you. It can either be created from you or by you. You look at technological inventions like the camera. It emulates how the eye works. The speaker is just another way of emulating how the ear works. The engine is just another way of emulating how the digestive system works. The nuclear reactor is just another way of showing how the workings of the liver are. Your liver, it does the same thing as a nuclear reactor. There's so much things, when you build a house, you first need to build the structure of the house, and you look at your body, you have a skeleton, which is the structure of how your body is. All of it, books, music, your heart creates music. You know what I mean? Everything comes from your books. You write down your thoughts and you compile them and you document them. It's a book. There you go. It comes from you. It's your thoughts or your intellectual accumulations, right? So essentially, all of it is it stems back, or it is derived back from its source, which is the Creator, and therefore nothing can be created outside the Creator. But this also extends further into things that are not tangible, things that dissipate and are not tangible. We can't see or touch them. Things like concepts and thoughts and ideas, such as astrology, right? Or mathematics, or psychology, or religion, or family, or culture. All these things come from you. All of them. Everything. There is nothing else to study but the self, because everything comes from the self, or stems from the self, or is an extension of the self. Nothing else exists outside you. Right? Nothing else. Now, Laila Africa, who was a doctor, he passed on, I think, two years ago. Dr. Laila Africa, he speaks on these things called melanin centers. Right? These melanin centers are found at the top surface of your spine. There's like 12 of them, right? 12 melanin centers at the top of your spine. Now, these melanin centers are where we derive our emotions. They are the sources in which we are able to channel different emotions. There's a wide spectrum of emotions, but now these melanin centers are only found, well, not only, but they are found, there's 12 of them in those people who are of color. So people whose hair grows towards the sun, or if your hair is able to dread like mine, you most likely have 12 melanin centers. This is beast mode. Not everybody consists of 12 melanin centers. Some people only have 6 and some people only have 4. But if you're a person whose hair grows towards the sun like the trees and the flowers do, then you most likely have 12. Now, when we look at the number 12, we always think completion. Yeah? Complete. There are 12 zodiac signs, right? Remember, everything comes from you. It's impossible to create outside yourself. If you disagree, I challenge you to try and create nothingness. Good luck. Everything comes from you. So, astrology essentially comes from us as well. So does math, so does time. It all just is painted differently, but essentially it's the same thing as its source, as where it comes from, which is you. Now we look at astrology, and we know, Bana, there are 12 zodiac signs, or 12 phases, right? Aries, the baby, grows up, becomes Gemini, the child, grows up, becomes Sagittarius, the intellectual, grows up, reaches Pisces, the God energy. But you have all these emotions. They basically just emotions. They all just different emotions, and how those different emotions interact within each other, and how they interact and relate with the world, and how the world relates and interacts with them. It's important to have a wide spectrum of emotions